Listen, everybody needs a fairy godmother, just somebody to look out for them. Some people call me their fairy smoke mother, others their internet big sister, but you can call me Hannah, the host of Smoke Sash. So come hang out, let's light up and talk everything there is to life. The good, the bad, the ugly, the embarrassing. I've got a story for it all. Good morning, hotties. Welcome back to another beautiful, amazing, wonderful, incredible episode of Smoke Sesh. My name is Hannah, your host, and I just got home from Montana last night. You guys, I am up, I am at it, I am ready to sit down, have a little kiki, tell you guys all about my trip where I basically just went off the grid in the Montana mountains for like 10 days. Yes, 10 days. I pre-recorded, as you guys know, the confessionals episode, which, by the way, hope you loved. I had a blast doing that. You guys are insane, and I love that about you. Okay, no judgment here. I'm probably crazier. But I didn't want to leave you guys hanging for too long because I did take a week off like prior. So I did that, but now I am back with so many story times and just so much to fill you guys in on. My trip was so refreshing and relaxing and incredible. Me and my childhood best friends, I'm talking like 10 plus years of friendship, actually probably 25 plus years. And you're like, Hannah, you're 25. How is that possible? Literally, one of my friends, our moms had their baby shower together because we have been neighbors our whole entire life. Like, that's how long I have been friends with these girls. They bring so much peace and love and fulfillment to my life. And I am so lucky to be able to have them as lifelong friends and be able to go on trips with them and just get to enjoy life side by side with them. It is so fulfilling to just have people that maybe you don't have a lot of people, maybe you have a select couple that you know you can always rely on. It is nice to at least have a couple that you know whenever you get back together, whether it's been months or years without seeing each other, it's like you guys never missed a beat, like you just immediately get right back into the swing of things. It feels like when you were 8 years old hanging out on the playground, or when you were 14 years old sneaking out and like having sleepovers, or when you were 18 and going out and being crazy with each other. It's just so nice to get back into that routine, and I'm so lucky to have them as friends and be able to now as adults go out and experience life side by side with them. So I'm so blessed to have them in my life, and I'm so blessed that they wanted to go on this trip with me. We ended up going from, as you guys know, we live in KC, so we went from Kansas City up to Denver to Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and then Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Montana. We did Yellowstone, but we stayed in like Gardner Bozeman area, so a little bit north of Yellowstone. But we were gone and mostly off the grid for like 10 plus days. And I thought going into this, I was like, 10 days, that's a lot. My longest vacation has been 7 days. That was with my boyfriend in Mexico. And I felt like by the end of it, I was like, I'm ready to get home. I'm tired. We've done everything. Like, I'm ready to go. So I was a little nervous going into it because I was like, what if I just get burnt out? Like, what if I'm like get homesick, whatever it may be? Listen, by the end of these 10 days, I was like, you know what? I could have gone another couple days. Like, I could have had another couple days. And I think that's because a lot of our trip was simply just like getting away from the chaos of life and escaping into nature and going on these hikes and swimming in glacier pools, and just like it was so refreshing, and it was just the kind of vacation I needed. I feel like usually vacations for me are go go go, which this one was, but it's usually go 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 in the sense of like city, ocean, beach, back to city, back to drinking, back to this place. Like it's kind of exhausting in that sort of way, but this way where we were just escaping into nature, it was so refreshing and so incredible. So let's get into what we did. I highly recommend doing this kind of route or simply just going to this place. I thought Wyoming and Yellowstone was such a beautiful area, and although it was busy, I feel like it was busy for the people who lived in that area, but like people who maybe live where I am or maybe on the West Coast or the East Coast, like there are so many beautiful places in like rural, kind of in the middle of nowhere, Midwest that I think are so fucking worth it, especially the Tetons, which is where we ended up near Jackson Hole. But to kick things off, we left last Friday at like 7 a.m. and we drove directly to Denver. Denver was a little weird. It was a little weird. Denver itself is a little weird. And I love Denver. I go to Denver quite often. But it was summer break and you could tell, and the people were a little weird, a little off-putting. And I'm not saying I hate my Denver girlies. Like, there were a couple girlies that we met that were so sweet and so kind. They're like, can we take your picture? Can we, like, they just saw us being girls and wanted to like jump in on it. And I love that energy. It was mostly like the middle-aged people that we were beefing with. But we got to Denver. We went out to like a little dim sum place. We had a good little dinner. We went to bed early. And then we had to get to our Airbnb. And we had no idea where our Airbnb was. All we saw in the reviews was, it's a little bit of an industrial area, but you get used to it. Listen, it was cheap as hell. It was really cute. I'm not going to lie. Like, the inside was beautiful. It had ducks. They had fresh duck eggs for us to eat. But when I tell you, we walked out of our Airbnb and there was a man getting his dick sucked through a car window. Like, we were like, the block was hot. You know what I mean? Like, listen, I live in Kansas City and I live in a very busy area of the city, but like, there were girls street walking right outside our Airbnb. Like, the corner was the driveway. You know what I mean? And hey, listen, we all got to get our money, but when we are us cute little girlies in our little sundresses walked out of the Airbnb and we looked across the street, and my friend goes, what's going on? And literally it's this man on his tippy toes putting his dick through a car window and his pants are like on the ground. I was like, I was like, okay, ladies, no one go out here alone. Like, we all need to be holding someone's hand. Listen. Anyways, that was like funny. I didn't really feel unsafe at all. It was just kind of like a jump scare. I was like, whoa, I was not expecting that whatsoever. We didn't really do a whole lot in Denver. We were really just kind of preparing for our road trip. So like doing last minute shopping, seeing a little bit of the sights. We did like that drive up to Buffalo Bill. If you guys ever go to Denver, like a quick, easy sightseeing is just driving up to that like Buffalo Bill Observatory on the top of the mountain near Golden, and then driving down the mountain to Golden and then doing some shopping in Golden. I love Golden. Golden has always been great. One of the first vacations me and my boyfriend ever took together was to Golden, and there's this my favorite crystal store ever is in Golden. I am forgetting what it's called, but it's the only crystal store there. I just got a new ring actually from there. I get most of my rings from there. They're pretty cheap, and they last a lifetime. I've had one of these rings on my finger for about 3-4 years now. Like, are you kidding me? So I was like, let's do some shopping, let's get some crystals, and last time I went there with my boyfriend, like, this front desk lady was like, they cleanse the energy of your rings so then there's no like residual energy and it's fresh for you. But then she like grabbed my hand and was like, she gave me like a psychic reading randomly that I was not prepared for. She was just like, listen, you have a lot of ideas and I know you want to do this one thing and you have to follow your passions, and if you follow your passions then everything else will follow behind it. Please just trust in yourself and lean into what you want to do. And I was like, whoa, okay. And literally her telling me that is what jump started this podcast and what jump started like me sitting down and being open and talking with you guys. So shout out to her. But we did some shopping and then we ended up at this bar-ish bar, more like a brewery, but it's a self-serve brewery, which I think is really cool. They have all the taps along the walls. They have sake, they have wine, they have craft cocktails, they have beer, anything you could ever dream of. And you get a little card and a wristband, and then you literally serve yourself. Like, you put the card in the top of the slot, and then it pours you whatever how much you want, and it charges you by ounce. You can try a bunch or you can get a couple glasses. So we sat next to the river and we had some drinks and then went back home because we had an early day the next day. Next day we woke up and we drove straight to Wyoming, straight to Jackson Hole. In Jackson Hole, the drive to Jackson Hole is not that great. The drive from Kansas City to Jackson Hole is a lot of just plains. Like, listen, we live in the Great Plains. Let's be real. It's just flat earth. I mean, you could see the literal curve of the earth as you're driving through there. It was definitely a lot to get through, but hey, listen, do some sightseeing, do some little editing on my phone, take a little nap. What's better than that on a road trip? You know what I mean? Have a little snack. But we did 2 days in Denver, and then we drove straight to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. In Jackson Hole, Wyoming, if you guys are interested, we stayed at the Antler Inn, and it was kind of like a cheaper motel in the area, but I really wanted to stay in the town square in walking distance, so then we weren't really doing off-grid quite yet. We did that more so in Montana and Yellowstone, since everything is off-grid out there. But we stayed at the Antler Inn. I highly recommend it. It was like the perfect size bedroom for 4 girls to stay in. It had a huge ass mirror and 2 sinks, which is, listen, as a girl, like, you need space to get ready, especially if there's multiple girls. So the fact that it like accounted for all that was really great. And they had like a fireplace in the room, fresh seats, room service. It didn't seem like gross at all. Fantastic little motel, and close to everything. Like, every morning I walked to get us all coffee and then walked back because the girls were busy getting ready. But that first day was really spent just like that first day of driving to Jackson Hole was really spent like 8 hours getting there and then getting unpacked and doing a little bit of grocery shopping to make sure we were prepared for the next day. We stayed in Jackson Hole specifically because it is like the only town near the Tetons, and I really wanted to go to the Tetons. The Tetons, which I think means like, it's like oh God, I'm gonna butcher this. Tres Trois Tetons is like French for the 3 boobs, basically, because when the French were traveling through there, they saw these mountains and they were like, oh, it feels like home. Like, oh, titties, hi, feels like home. Oh, I'm thinking of my wife back in France or whatever when they were traveling through America back in the day. I don't know. This isn't a history lesson. Some cowboy on a cowboy tour told us this little fun fact for you all. They do kind of look like boobs. Anyways, I was very excited for that because there was a bunch of hikes that are pretty off-grid, not super popular, and there's a ton of like little lakes and streams and waterfalls going through these mountains. So the next morning we woke up and we did like a 6.5-mile hike. Yes, babe. 6.5-mile hike. I haven't done like any workout to prepare for this, but my ass was up that mountain, okay? Up it. And we hiked around, I think it's called Jenny Lake. We hiked around Jenny Lake and then up to this place called Hidden Falls, which is basically like this 300-foot waterfall. Insane, incredible. And then 2 of my friends were like, we're done, we can't hike anymore. And thank God I had this other friend that was like ready to go. She's like, no, we're here, Hannah, like, let's just get it done. So we hiked then up the mountain to this place called Inspiration Point, where you could see over the entire lake and see the whole entire mountain range. And it was just, oh my God, it was stunning. I need to get outside and get off the grid. Listen, you're depressed, please go to an off-grid like hiking location, not alone, or at least have some sort of like bear spray or mace. For the men, I'm not worried about the bears, but like, get off-grid. Tap into yourself. Tap into nature. I forgot how fulfilling and just like beautiful it is to like see yourself in connection to nature and just like stumble upon all of these beautiful, incredible areas. I posted photos like as I was going through there, but I will be posting way more photos on my Instagram coming soon. Instagram.com/Hannah Marlene if you want to check it out. I already posted my like cowgirl photos, but it is just like, oh my God, insane. I mean, coming from Kansas City where everything's flat, I mean, you know me, I'm a creek girl. I get out, I do hiking, but it's more like foresty. This was just like hiking through the mountains off grid, like insane. We were hiking through there and there were a couple trees down, and on the way back, there were like 3 rangers walking through and they're like, hey, like, are any trees down on the trails? And I was like, oh yeah, a couple, blah blah blah. I wasn't really paying attention. And then I looked up and one of these men were holding a giant fucking chainsaw. Like, imagine being the man, like, your job is to go chainsaw the trees 4 miles in on the hike. I was like, oh, good luck, sir. That's gonna be tough work, because these trees were massive. So we hiked around Jenny Lake up to Hidden Falls and then up to Inspiration Point, and then hiked back home. We were pretty exhausted after that, obviously. I think we like got a couple beers and then went home, took a nap. The next morning, we wanted to do a hike, and specifically we wanted to do swimming. Listen, I need to be in water. I'm a water girl. I have a Pisces rising. Like, it feels refreshing. It feels incredible. But when I tell you, these mountains still had snow on them. We were hiking up to the mountains, and then there'd be like piles of snow everywhere because it's not completely summer there yet. Like, at nights it got to maybe like 30 degrees. It was freezing, okay? But I wanted to get in some water, okay? I wanted to get out. I wanted to do a little swimming. I wanted to do some refreshing. And there were school buses of children just getting dropped off. And like, I don't know what these summer camps are, but like, if I was a middle school child getting dropped off in the woods, I would be getting into some trouble. I would be getting into some trouble for sure. So we hiked around specifically this lake called String Lake, which hiked up into the mountains, back down, and then we circled to like a cute little area that you could just like walk into the water. We could throw some blankets down, change into our bikinis. This water was so clear. I mean, it's fresh snowfall. It's literally fresh snow run off into these lakes, completely crystal clear, so gorgeous. So fucking cold. So fucking cold. Honestly, thank God we did like a 6.5 mile hike the day before and then like a 4.5 mile hike the morning right before we swam. My legs shot. My ankles hurt. I had blisters. I was tired. I was ready to get in that water. Oh my God. I jumped right in. My friend bought us like all glitter tubes, and I wore, of course, my Sydney Mary bikini. Shout out to her. In the glacier pools, in the glacier water. I took some fun photos. You guys will be seeing those soon. Trust. And we just spent the day hanging out in our glitter tubes in the crystal clear glacier lake, swimming about, eating our sandwiches. Honestly, sandwiches very underrated. We ate sandwiches every day for lunch, and every single time they slapped. So good. Sandwiches with some jalapeno kettle chips. Oh, don't say no more. You know what I mean? Spent the day really just floating, enjoying, laying in the sun, having the best fucking time ever. That honestly was probably my favorite memory of the entire trip. Just us laying in our glitter tubes under the sun, kicking my feet in the crystal clear blue water, looking up and just seeing the Tetons right in front of us. Oh my God, it was incredible. We were like the only ones in the water. There were people like kayaking and paddle boarding, but they were not getting in that fucking water. But I was like, listen, we have one life, ladies. Get in that water, get to floating, get to enjoying. That's all that matters. So after that, I think we just like had some bison burgers and went home. One of my big things I wanted to do was eat bison. Bison honestly slaps. They're so cute. I'm sorry, but it's really good. And I was in the area, so I was like, let's get bison burgers. Let's eat as much bison as we possibly can, because I'm not going to get that back home. You know what I mean? So I think we just hung out, did our things. And the next day was our cowgirl day. I gotta live my cowgirl fantasy, you guys. We woke up, we went to a place called Cowboy Coffee in Jackson Hole. Really, really good. Honestly, if you go to Jackson Hole, I do not recommend eating food anywhere. The food, very mid, but the coffee slaps. Incredible. We went to a place called Persephone's. That was incredible for coffee. And then a place called Cowboy Coffee. That was incredible. The only good food I had in Jackson Hole was at Dog, or DOG, and that was like a to-go breakfast burrito place. So of course it was gonna be like amazing. You know what I mean? So we woke up early in the morning. We had our little cowboy coffee. We changed into our cowgirl attire, and then we went horseback riding for an hour through the Tetons. I'm talking, we were on the top of the world on horseback, riding through these fields full of beautiful wildflowers, looking to our left, seeing the Tetons, looking to our right, seeing more mountains and lakes and rivers. Oh, it was incredible. I think the ranch we went to was called Spring Creek Ranch. So if you need a place to go, that is definitely it. It was pretty cheap. The horses were well taken care of. They actually were like kind of bigger, not to body shame the horses, but the cowboys were literally like, no, like, we have to get these horses moving. They're so lazy and they just eat all the time. Like, they don't let them eat any grass on the trails. Like, they get fed. I promise you, they're actually quite big. Like, they're just really fucking lazy, which honestly, if I was a horse, like, I get it. And it's so funny because I didn't realize, I haven't really grown up around horses. I didn't realize they had so much of like a personality, but they like all had their own little personalities. They all like talked back to each other, like neighing at each other, saying like, move the fuck back. at the front of our group, there was like this older couple, probably like at least 65. One of them had hearing aids that I know were not fucking turned on. Like that man was checked out for sure. But his wife was in front of him, and when I tell you, we started going up the trail just a little bit, probably like 400 feet, and her horse, both legs off the ground, bucked her into the air. She came up off this horse at least 3 feet and then like slammed back down on top of that horse. I was like, oh my God. If that happened to me, I would immediately be like, I need a new fucking horse. Like, I'm sorry. Get me off this horse. I would have been freaked out. But the cowboy just like turned around and was like, are you okay? Okay, cool. Let's keep moving. Like, no care in the world. I was like, I would be shocked if that happened to me. And that poor lady, her husband didn't even notice his hearing aids weren't on. He didn't even see. But like, these horses, so funny. My horse's name was Karen. It was like a beautiful blonde horse, tall as hell. Tell me why they had like a little mounting block for everybody else to get on their horse, but they pulled this blonde ass horse around, which honestly, thank you for matching my horse to my outfit. They get it. She was like bright blonde. Her name was Karen because apparently she's always up people's asses. Because she's like, let's go, I want to get off this fucking trail, like please keep moving. And tell me why they brought this big ass horse around and just like brought it in front of me, like not even to the mounting block like everybody else. They just brought it in front of me and were like, can you get on? Listen, bitch, I'll try my darndest, that's for sure. So I hopped on that fucking horse and we rode it through the mountains, through the Tetons, all around. He was giving us like wildflower facts and animal facts and all the sorts, all the facts. So shout out to him. Love a good tour guide. Like, I don't know the facts, so thank God someone does and is willing to tell us. But we did that. And then after that, that's when we went to the DOG. We had some breakfast burritos. We walked around town. We did some shopping. Super fun. And then we got dressed up into like some nice little flowy dresses, and we went to this place called Mormon Row, which is these abandoned barns right in front of the Tetons, kind of off grid, that's like beautiful during sunset. We took some sunset pictures, the girlies, we got to get in there, we got to take some photos, and then we changed and we went to the $1 Million Cowboy Bar, which honestly, oh sorry the hiccups, it's pretty fun. It was pretty fun. It was a cute little bar, fantastic. I got way too drunk. I got way too drunk. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I forgot. Before the Cowboy Bar, we went to the Cowboy Bar, had a drink, and then we went to the rodeo. The rodeo. It was a full cowgirl day. Horseback, rodeo, Cowboy Bar. Like, we were on brand, that's for fucking sure. We went to the rodeo, and we got there a little late, so the stands were completely full. So we sat down on these, like, little picnic tables right next to like the sheep and where they kept the cows and the concession stands, which honestly was the best spot in the house because we were on eye level. We could see everything. The cowboys were like hopping the fence, like trying to get away from the bulls right in front of us. They were wrangling the sheep in front of us. And I was a little nervous about the animal cruelty at the rodeo. I was like, am I gonna be sad? But it was really just like barrel racing, and they were just like, it was like not a real rodeo. They were just doing their thing, like running around on horses, and I appreciated that. But if you want to see pictures from the rodeo and the Cowboy Bar, I literally just posted them an hour ago, so go check them out. I wore a cute little denim skirt. I looked like Jessie from Toy Story. I had like a cute little like Brandy Melville white tank top, my boots, my cowgirl boots, and then I braided my hair with like 2 little ribbons. It was so cunty, serving country, literally. And next to us, there was like this family, like this mom, the dad, which hot couple. Okay, they were cute, like they were cutesy, and then like their son, their like teenage son. And she was crazy. My friends are nurses. They're one of them is an ICU nurse, but they all work in the hospital. Girl, if you work in a hospital, you have to be insane because the things that you're dealing with, let's be fucking real. I dodged a bullet not becoming a nurse because I don't think I could put up with it. Like, I fight. And they don't. So that's why they can be nurses. But she was ICU nurse and she was crazy. She was crazy. They were like going on a cross country tour from Florida. They were driving up from Florida. They went like through Kansas City, all around, the Midwest, just enjoying their time. She was in this like, she was in cutoff, rhinestone Miss Me shorts, cowboy boots, a furry cheetah print vest, and a cowgirl hat. I looked at her and I said, this is going to be me in like 30 years. And honestly, I can't wait. I really can't wait. Her husband was just there next to her, like making sure she had a good time. Her son was a little embarrassed, but then he saw us like vibing with her, and then we were like, "No, your mom's cool. You're gonna be so thankful to have a mom like her in 10 years. Like the girls that you bring home, they're gonna love her. Don't worry." So he was like, "Okay, vibe, whatever." And we were just vibing with this lady. I love making friends with like middle-aged women on vacation because it gives me hope. I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna be me when I'm older. Like, I love meeting cool older women. That is the ultimate best. We had huckleberry, bison, hot dogs at the rodeo. Honestly, best hot dog I've ever had in my life, dare I say. I don't know what a huckleberry is, but it's very popular out there. Everything is huckleberry flavored, which I was down for because it honestly just tastes kind of like a citrusy raspberry mix. So like, let's go. How am I gonna hate that? But I think that's all I ate that night. Keep that in mind for what I'm gonna talk about next. But we went to the rodeo, we did our thing, and then time's up. Okay. There was one specific girl there that she was wearing a really cool hat, and we were buying drinks from her. She was like the bartender or whatever, and we were chatting it up. I was like, "Oh, where'd you get your hat?" She was so sweet, whatever. We leave, we go to the cowboy bar like to end our night there. She's there, and she's leading the line dancing. I was like, this is real country. Okay, you work the rodeo bar stand, and then when you get off your shift, you go straight to the cowboy bar and you go line dancing. Living the life. You know what I mean? So we went to the cowboy bar, and listen, it was the only night that I was gonna drink with my girls. So best believe I was gonna drink. Okay, I've been really good about my consumerism as of late. Okay, I'll have my couple little drinks and I'll move on for the night, but all I had that day was that hot dog and a very small sandwich. And we went to the bar before. I had 2 drinks. We went to the rodeo. I had 2 drinks. And then we went back to the bar, which honestly, at that point, I was pretty fucking drunk. But I was like, I want to take shots with my girls. So I think I had like, oh God, 3 vodka Red Bulls there and at least 3 or 4 green tea shots. Scary. But me and my friend, we were out there. My friend's from Houston, so we were out there like line dancing. She was teaching me how to line dance. I was kikiing with the bartender girlie from the rodeo. She was teaching me how to line dance. I could barely keep up because, as you guys know, like, I'm a white girl. There is no rhythm, but I will try my best. That's for sure. We were out there dancing, having a good time, swinging around, doing our thing, taking shots, whatever. And it was a blast. It was a really fun time. What's better than going out with your friends and going swing dancing, going line dancing? You know what I mean? And then we ended up back at home. I showered. And the next morning, I woke up and there's something about turning 25 where your body stops like processing alcohol correctly. I have never experienced a hangover like this. In fact, I think this is the first time I've ever experienced like a hangover. I'm talking hungover. Okay? Like, could barely breathe, honestly. And somehow that night I took a shower because I was all dusty from being on horseback and the rodeo, and I didn't want to smell like animals. So I showered after the rodeo, but the tub was so slick and so wet that apparently my friends had to tell me this. I fell out of the shower and I think I broke my nose again. This will be the 4th time I've broken my nose, but I fell and I fell on my butt, and then I think I whacked my face in the toilet. But I woke up the next morning and I was like, oh my God, my fucking nose hurts so bad. What happened? And I had to go through the pictures and look at the pictures that I took of myself and try and piece together when it happened. I think it happened after I showered and I just slipped and fell. But yeah, I definitely broke my nose again. You can't really tell because I covered it up with makeup. It's not worse. In fact, I think I broke it straighter. So a win's a win, honestly. But my God, my nose has been through it. First time I broke my nose, it was playing crack the egg, okay, on a trampoline. Don't recommend. Don't recommend. They jumped directly on my face. I think I was like 8, broke my nose. Second time, cross country. Someone elbowed me in the face, cracked my nose. I'm talking full black eyes, could not see, eyes swollen. My parents were like, you still got to go to school. I'm like, girl, how am I going to read? That's what you get for having teachers for parents. They're like, you don't miss school unless you're throwing up or bleeding. Third time, my car accident when I hit a police car going 75 miles an hour. Not my fault. Why were you parked in the middle of the highway? Well, it's because a cattle truck had overturned on the highway above, and there were cows, black Angus cows, falling from the highway onto the highway below. It was also like 2 a.m., so I don't think he was expecting anybody to go on the highway, but I was like, hello. And he parked in the middle of it, no lights. I hit the back of his car going 75 miles an hour. My face hit that steering wheel so hard, broke my nose. This will be the 4th time. Slipping and falling on the girls' trip after the cowboy bar, whacking my face on the toilet. So best believe I have been icing her and making sure she is taken care of. But that next morning, we had a drive from Jackson Hole to Yellowstone, which is about going through Yellowstone is pretty slow. I would say maybe like a 4-hour drive. Definitely worth it. We covered almost all of Yellowstone, which is really nice, but that car ride, I was like heavy breathing. You know the best hangover cure though? I think I've found it officially. In the morning, I really couldn't keep anything down, so I really was not focused on that, but I was laid back in that back seat, window cracked, fresh pine air blowing in my face, staring at the mountains as they went by. We had not seen animals that whole time. Listen, when you go out in the mountains, especially out there, they're like, bear spray, you need bear spray. Like, there are bears everywhere. There are animals everywhere. Please be careful. Please stay away from them. Like, I was like, okay, all right, I'm prepared. Hello. We didn't see one bear the first like 5 fucking days we were there. We didn't see anything, any animals other than horses, obviously. The first 5 days we were there, nothing. And chipmunks. So I was like, these people have been lying. They've been poaching and lying. And as I'm hungover, driving through the mountains, fresh pine air on my face, I'm like half asleep, head laid back. My friends go, buffalo. I like shot up. We looked across the field. Hundreds of buffalo everywhere, just hanging out, doing their thing. And there were babies. It's baby season, you guys. There are babies everywhere, okay? Baby buffalo. It was so precious. And in that exact moment, snap. Immediately, hangover, gone. I was like, all right, we got to get to work on taking care of ourselves. I chugged a body armor, started chugging some water. I ate a sandwich. Good to go. But when I tell you that fresh mountain breeze, staring out the window, seeing some live animals, immediately fixed me. Immediately hangover, gone. Then we drove through Yellowstone and we stayed in this like really remote, beautiful log cabin up in this town called Gardner, just north of Yellowstone a little bit. So we got there, we did some sightseeing along the way, but we got there, we unpacked, and we had a lot of weed to smoke. Montana weed's legal, so shout out. But we picked up like a $40 ounce from Colorado, and we couldn't smoke at the Antler Inn because we're in Wyoming. They're going to put me in jail forever. So like, let me just wait until I get to Montana. But we had pre-rolled about like 30 pre-rolls from this ounce. So we got there. I cooked everybody like a rigatoni cheesy red sauce dish, and I cooked us all some cheesy bread and a nice salad, and we smoked I think like 5 fucking joints. Also, I've never seen Bridgerton before, and my friends, like, the new season of Bridgerton had just come out. I don't know if you guys are into Bridgerton. I have not seen anything other than the second half of the 3rd season. Apparently they be fucking and sucking in this show, like, constantly. Anyways, then we got home and we had to watch with them, obviously, the last season of Bridgerton, the last part of Bridgerton. So we faced like 5 joints and sat down. We watched that and we stared outside at the stars and had ourselves a time. And then we drove through Yellowstone. Yellowstone is so busy, but so beautiful. Believe it or not, my cousin is a park ranger, or kind of. I guess she works at the Old Faithful Inn. Shout out to her. I love her endlessly. So we went out. I saw her small world. What a life also, because all these people who work at these like either as rangers or just in Yellowstone as like maybe you work at the front desk of a hotel or you work as like a gift shop operator, whatever it may be, there's plenty of jobs out there. If you don't not know what to do with your life and you're looking for something to do and you want to get off the grid, go work in a state park. Oh my God. I was like, I'm ready to up and move and leave everything behind to go live out and just like be in the mountains all the time. You live in the state park. They have like dorms or whatever for you. But my cousin was sending me pictures, and I think like on her days off, her and her boyfriend just like go out and they go camping and they just go and live their life. And I'm like, oh my God, what a life. What a life. I'm so jealous. I have way too much furniture here and clothes, honestly. But like, it's nice to know that this is always an option. Like, if you guys don't know what to do with your lives, go work in a national park. I think you would have so much fucking fun, honestly. Like, if you're not going to college, go work at a national park. Like, are you kidding me? You're gonna meet people, you're gonna chit chat, you're gonna go live in the dorms, you're gonna be in the national park for like the whole summer. It's really only like a summer job because they shut down all of Yellowstone in the winter. I couldn't imagine being out there in the winter. I know it gets just like insane. But we saw Old Faithful, we saw a bunch of geysers. It is an active volcano, so there's like acid pits and pools that you can go walk around. My favorite part of Yellowstone, though, was the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone. I was like, it's not going to be that deep because I've been to the Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is humongous, massive, scarily massive, just hole in the ground, insane. This was crazy. Like, it makes you feel so small because you're literally looking at the formation of something that happened thousands and thousands of years ago. Yellowstone itself is a whole formation from the seismic activity and volcanic activity from, I don't know how many fucking years ago, but a lot. In fact, it's still an active volcano. And I think when the Yellowstone volcano blows up, like, that's supposed to be the end of the world. So I was like, let's get out there and experience, ladies. Like, the ground is bubbling. Like, seismic activity is happening underneath you. The pits and pools that look beautiful and, you know, blue and amazing and like, oh, I want to jump in there. It's like sulfur water, acidic water. Like, if you get in there, your bones will not be found because it's going to disappear forever. Like, it's going to eat away at your bones. Crazy. Yellowstone has definitely taken some dumb people off this planet, but the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone was one of the most beautiful places I think I've ever visited in my life. It's like this huge, giant gorge in the middle of Yellowstone that Yellowstone River flows through, but the mountains are topped with all of these beautiful green pine trees, and then the rocks are these beautiful like orange, red, yellow colors. Like, oh my God, it looks like paint strokes, but it is deep. Like, you're on top of a mountain, and then there's a waterfall, multiple waterfalls going over, and then this beautiful blue river flowing through it. Oh my God. Talk about, you want to make your problems feel small. You want to feel insignificant in the best way possible. Get out into nature. You will forget everything that has ever bothered you before. Because I was standing on top of there and I was like, wow, how lucky are we to live this life, to be out here, to get to experience, to get to live on a planet that is as cool as this. I felt like I was on a different planet. I felt like I was in a Star Wars movie seeing some of this shit. Like, I was like, this is not Earth, but it is. And how lucky are we that we get to be able to get out and experience it? So I'm begging, if you are a young person or an old person, honestly, I don't give a fuck what your age is. Get out there, go experience, go live, go see, go view. You will have such a time of your life that it is something that you will never forget about. Bitch, I will get dementia, I will get Alzheimer's, I will forget everything, but I will never forget this. That's for fucking sure. Core memory. And it really has kind of like switched something in my brain where I'm like, the rest of my 20s, I really want to spend traveling. Like, I really want to just get out there and go and experience. So if you are, you know what, under 40, period. If you're listening to this and you're under 40 and you have time where you're like not yet settled and you don't know what you want to do yet, go out there and go view, go experience, because this world is so vast and ever changing. We only drove like 12 hours, and the amount of different kind of like views and things that the earth got to show us was incredible. Imagine what the other side of the world looks like. Do you know what I mean? So anyways, the theme for the next year I think is like high in a national park. No, we did not smoke weed in a national park. Do not light up. Do not smoke cigarettes. Do not light up with a lighter in a national park. You do not need to burn a national park down. But best believe I'm going to rip my pen just a couple times before going and looking at things. Of course, to make it a little bit more beautiful. But wow. So incredible, so gorgeous. We saw animals. We saw so many animals. It's baby season. We saw bears, black bears and their cubs. We saw brown bears and their babies just like hanging out, bouncing through the woods, doing their thing. We saw bison babies. We saw elk babies. We saw deer babies. We saw so many animals. It was so beautiful. And it's so nice because it's like, no, you're in their territory. This isn't your territory. This isn't for the people. This is for the animals. Oh my God, so beautiful, so wonderful. And then, yeah, we really just spent our last couple days going exploring Yellowstone and then ending back up at our cabin and smoking weed on the back porch and staring at the mountains surrounding us and looking at the stars. Last night, there was this one beautiful, incredible sunset that was just like the chef's kiss of everything. Like, we had not really seen a sunset, and it was just so incredible and colorful, and it was just what I needed for our last night. So we did 10 days off-grid in Yellowstone, in Wyoming, in Montana, exploring, getting lost, seeing volcanoes, seeing acid pits and pools, hiking through the mountains, swimming in fresh waterfalls, swimming in crystal clear glacier lakes and glitter tubes, on horseback, running around the mountains, picking wildflowers, drinking at the cowboy bar and line dancing. I could not have asked for a better fucking time, honestly. And I did it side by side with some incredible, amazing, beautiful, smart, brilliant, loving women. And what's better than that? Honestly. Also, I left my boyfriend at home for 10 days alone, and you know you're in a secure relationship when you can leave them at home and you're not worried. No anxiety, no nothing. I was gone, and he's a Scorpio, so he gets possessive. Let me be real. He gets very possessive, and he did not worry once. That's how you know you're in a healthy, secure, loving relationship where it's like, no, you go be your own individual. I'll be here when you get back. I just want you to go have fun, enjoy. Because listen, I've been with some insecure men, and I know if I was still with them and I did a 10-day trip, they would have stopped talking to me halfway through. They would have started ignoring me. They would have caused a fight, blah, 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 blah. I'm so lucky to have a partner who encourages and uplifts my alone time and my exploration as an individual. I'm so thankful for that. We got home and they lost one of my bags. I knew my bag was going to be too heavy, okay? Southwest, they give you 2 bags. Shout out to them. I only packed 1. My bad, sorry. And it was over 50 pounds. So she goes, oh, well, it's $100. Well, what's the next option? Or you can buy at the counter a Southwest duffel for $20. And then you can throw in all your extra shit and you get 2 free bags. I love Southwest. I only fly Southwest, honestly. And so I bought my $20 duffel. I threw all my shit in there. It did not show up. It did not show up. Anyways, shout out to the girl at the counter. She's like, oh yeah, it'll probably show up on the next flight. We'll give you a call, whatever. Also, if you come pick it up yourself, which I don't live that far from the airport, she's like, we'll give you a $200 voucher. So best believe I'll be catching another flight soon. Shout out to you, Southwest. And shout out to the lady who was like, no, buy this duffel because it's really foldable and you fold it up real easy. You put it in your bag when you go somewhere, and then everything you buy, you put in your duffel and you check both of them. Who would have fucking thought, honestly? So yeah, I gotta go pick that up next. I have been talking for way too long. I'm sure you guys love hearing me talk. It was a lot to catch up on. I just really wanted to sit down and chat with you guys. It was such a fun experience. I might do a little bit longer of an episode so I can get to as many of your questions as I can, but let's get into a little fire round episode. Get to all of the questions. But yeah, I had such a fucking blast and it was so nice. It just really puts everything in a new perspective and really just makes you thankful for being able to be here and experience this world and get to see as much as you possibly can. I really, really encourage all of you to go out, to experience, to enjoy, to just see what the world has to offer, but outside of like, well, obviously culture is such an experience and food and all that, but get off the grid. If you are tired of being here and being around people, get off the fucking grid, because that's how I was feeling. I was like, oh my God, I can't do it anymore, you guys. I'm losing my mind. And then I just like ran off into the woods for like 10 days and all of a sudden refreshed, renewed, have a gusto for life again. And honestly, it is so nice. So hopefully it's inspired you. Book a trip. Honestly, book a trip, go out, go experience, go enjoy. So fucking worth it. But let's smoke finally, and let's get into your questions. You guys, I haven't smoked out of a BONG in quite some time, that's for sure. Since I literally was only smoking dab pens and lots of joints, at least 30 joints, maybe more, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. But cheers, this will be fun to smoke together. I missed you all. Let's hit this. So nice. I kind of lined it up perfectly as well, where I got home last night and then I have today off to film and edit and stuff, and then tomorrow off, and then I don't work until Wednesday. So that's really nice, just to kind of recoup and do some laundry. And luckily I have a boyfriend who like takes care of himself, so I didn't really have to do anything when I came home, you know, other than like maybe some grocery shopping and planning for the week. So love that for me. Still kind of like on vacation mode, which is nice. And on to bigger and better things. I'm putting in my 2 weeks at my old restaurant on Saturday. I'm scared, but also round of applause for me. It's just time. It's time. I've been there for 4 years. It's time to move on. It's time to free myself. Every time I break a cycle, even if it's good or, you know, outgrow something and I allow myself to naturally move on, the universe always gifts me with something. So I'm so excited to see the blessings that are about to flow my way. But a lot of you guys submitted questions, so let's not waste any more time and let's get right into it. Why do I always attract the worst kinds of people? Am I the problem? No, I think the worst kinds of people are attracted to the best kinds of people because they're jealous of that energy and they want to feed off of it and suck on it like a vampire until you have no energy left and they have just fed off of you. So if anything, it has more to do with you being good than you being bad. But the good people always attract way more bad people. You just need to stand strong and understand how to kind of like work through that and, you know, make those people not stick to you or have morals or have values that allow yourself to release these people or not get attached to them, so then they don't suck you dry of all of your energy. I don't know how to hit on my crush, and I also think he's out of my league and he won't want me. No such thing, no such thing. I think you have to do a little bit of like crazy girl planning where it's like, let me stalk him a little bit. Listen, I did this with my boyfriend too. I think it's very natural for women to want to do, where it's like, I have to win him over. But don't go after men who don't want you. At least like put yourself out there and give yourself an opportunity, because more times than not, they're going to say yes than no. But if they do say no, don't take it personally and just move on with your life. You know, don't pine after someone who doesn't fucking want you. That is a quick way to lose yourself immediately. So I say do a little stalking, you know, find out his interests, stalk his mom on Facebook. No, I'm kidding. But like do a little bit of research, understand his hobbies, his activities, and then just put yourself out there. Bring something up. Be like, oh, hey, do you want to study together? I don't know if he's like in your class. Do you want to study together? Maybe she like loves this one anime and you guys have that in common. I don't know. Find some sort of thing where you guys have something in common and then bring it up, but bring it up at the right time. You got to wait. You got to play the long game and bring it up at the right time. Or simply just be like, hey, I like your shoes, and then move on with your day quickly. It's a great way to break the ice without having to like dive in deeper. And then they're aware of your presence a little bit more, especially if you've never talked before. Just be like, oh, hey, nice shoes. Oh, hey, nice shirt. Oh, what you said in class was cool. And then just move on quickly. You could like run away immediately. Let him think about you overnight. Let them think, let them observe, let them fantasize, and then, you know, slowly start talking some more. I love like the hunt though. That's so fun. I of course had to do that with my boyfriend, and he did that with me, and that's why it worked out. You know, you gotta match each other's freak. You gotta both be a little crazy. What's your favorite crystal? I just bought a rose quartz and garnet ring. Rose quartz is definitely one of my favorite crystals, as well as turquoise. I don't know if you would consider that a crystal, but I do wear quite a lot of it. My great grandmother was a metalsmith. How fucking cool. And she worked with turquoise. So I have a lot of her jewelry and I feel like it brings me a lot of good energy. And then specifically another crystal that I've always gravitated towards, which I think everybody does just because it's so fucking gorgeous, is opals. My boyfriend bought me this opal ring for my birthday. I also have another opal ring, and then I wear my opal and diamond necklace every single day. I feel like as long as I have opals on me, I feel good. First opal piece of jewelry that I ever got, so sweet. Everybody in my class was getting class rings, and my parents always remember getting class rings. I didn't get a letterman jacket or whatever because I didn't have letters. Girl, I was in art class. You think they're giving me letters for that? Let's be real. So they were like, we'll get you a ring. You know, you pick out a piece of jewelry, we'll get you a piece of jewelry. And I mean, it's not like a David Yurman $12,000 blah blah blah. It was like probably like a $150 $200 Etsy piece or like eBay piece, but it was this gorgeous opal like ring, and I wore it too often. The thing with opals is they're pretty fragile, and I broke a couple of them, so I stopped wearing it. But after I wore that, I feel like I always have to have it on me. Not only is it like a representation of like growing and like my parents' love, my love for myself, but also it's just gorgeous. Hey, how to have a confident, sexy, hot girl summer. So I was reading Eve Babbitt's. I really wanted to bring her book with me. I feel like she's just a great older woman to read and look up to. She's a great way of visualizing the world and finding enjoyment in all of it, even if a little bit is like negative. She always finds like a positive outcome, and a lot of her writing is about other women and women that she finds inspiring, or maybe like experiences that she had with those women, even if they were fleeting, but like why she was drawn to them. And one of the things that she said about like being powerful and having purpose is there was this like girl that she was growing up with in high school that she loved and just like looked up to and had so much fun with, and they were like, she's like, I didn't know power came from understanding yourself. Like, how silly. She just knew who she was, and that's why she was so powerful over all these men in the high school, or all these women who wanted them to be her to be in their like sorority or be in their group. It was, she knew who she was and she did not give a fuck about anything else, and that's what brought her power. And it's funny because she was like, how silly. Like, that's so funny that power is simply just understanding who you are and not denying yourself of that. But there is so much power in that. Like, listen, I'm a weird silly girl. Like, I'm not like a LA 10, I'm not a New York 10, I don't have fillers to the fucking sky, blah blah blah. You know, I don't fit a lot of these criteria that I think a lot of people think like power and beauty is, but I fit all of them because I know I am, and I believe in myself, and I just think I'm worth so much. Whether I fit into those categories or not, I know I have purpose and power because I know in my worth, and I believe in my worth. And I think really being a hot, sexy, confident girl this summer is simply just being like, I don't give a fuck. I'm here to exist and live and enjoy and be peaceful. And I know I'm sexy and hot, so other people know I'm sexy and hot. Like, if you believe in yourself, other people will also believe in you as well. How do you deal with girls that have bad vibes? Let me give you the tea. Okay, girl, give me the tea. I'm ready. But I have encountered a lot of mean girls, especially as an adult. And a lot of their meanness just comes from like, girl, why are you being weird and judgmental as an adult? That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Like, oh my God, girl. Like, I really tried to break that in me young, being like judgmental or mean or like gossiping too much about one person. Listen, a little tea, little kiki, little gossip is fine, all right? But don't like have that girl's mouth or name in your mouth 24/7. That's weird. That's weird. Very high school of you, babe, and that is weird as an adult. So to deal with girls with bad vibes, sometimes you just gotta be like, moving on. Turn your back, walk away. I encountered a lot of these like older mean women on our trip just because like I'm a young hot girl. What am I gonna say? You know what I mean? Be the woman at the rodeo who sees the young hot girls and is like, I love you girls. You're having so much fun. I want to hang out with you. Like, let me buy you a drink. Let me hang out with you girls. Like, let's yeehaw together. Not the one who's like shoulder checking you in a fucking gift shop. That's when I hit them with the excuse me, and then I turn my back and walk away. Sometimes you just got to check them and move on real quick. Like, that was weird. Let me move on. But don't, return and keep going and mulling after it and seeking revenge over small things, because that makes you just as bad as them. Think about it. Think about it. Sometimes I feel like my boyfriend doesn't care about important stuff. What do I do? Men are fucking stupid sometimes, but they should not be so stupid that it inconveniences your life. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you just have to match each other's stupid. Sometimes you have to not care about the same things. But as a woman in a relationship and who has been in many bad relationships, the one major piece of relationship advice I can give you is you need to care about the same things. You need to have the same morals. You need to have the same goals. You need to be growing on the same pace. You need to be enjoyers of the same things. Even if you're not enjoying the same thing that, you know, your partner might be. Like, bitch, I can't skateboard. I'm still going to be like, ooh, let me cheer you on from my blanket with my book. You know, like enjoyers of each other. And if you feel like he doesn't care about a lot of the things that you don't care about, it's because he doesn't. But also, you don't have to be with someone who doesn't care about the things you care about. Like, if you want to celebrate your month anniversary, fantastic. That's amazing. Keep that enjoyment of love in your heart, but find someone who wants to share that with you. If your man looks at you and goes, month anniversary, that's fucking stupid, he does not like you. I hate to say it. I really hate to say it. He doesn't like you, and that's okay. That's fine. Why would you stay with someone who doesn't like you or doesn't have the same morals or values or enjoyment of life? You have a choice. You have a choice on who your partner is. You have a choice on how much fun you guys have together. Sometimes you just got to realize the inconveniences and the inconsistencies, and you got to be like, it's okay. I'll just try someone else. You know, you have time, girl. You're not young. The clock's not ticking, or you're not old. The clock's not ticking. You have time to try men on for size and see if they fit. They're like cowgirl boots, all right? Are they going to give me blisters and make my life worse, or do they have that nice arch support? And they're going to make my life comfortable for me and fashionable. Anyways, someone said, I've just finished school, so anything to do with that. Love you. I love you. Congratulations. That is so exciting. School is so... Stay educated, please. Please, I'm begging you, stay educated. That's the one biggest regret in my life is not finishing college. Please stay educated. Please go to college. But also, I understand it's not for everybody. But, like, if you're there already, girl, finish it. Just get it over with. I know it's hard, but, like, please keep going. It will be so worth it. You'll be so much more confident in yourself, understanding in yourself. Also, it's never too late to go back. Something I've always thought of. I just need to figure out what I exactly want to do and what would be best for me and where. But for now, I'm happy where I am, and that's important. But if you just finished school and you're looking around aimlessly and you're like, well, now what the fuck do I do? That's okay. That's how everybody's feeling. You're supposed to feel that way because the world has literally just opened itself up to you. And when an oyster opens itself up and has thousands of pearls, it's going to be hard to pick just one singular pearl, okay? So don't worry too much. You deserve a good break. You do. If you just finished something incredibly hard, such as like high school or college, you finished 4 years of school, you deserve a little bit of a break. Give yourself a little spa day, girl. Book yourself an hour massage. Take the summer off if that's what you want to do. Enjoy life. Maybe get a little summer job, whatever, part-time. But like, it's okay to take a little bit of a break. If you want to take like a bigger break, such as like maybe a gap year or whatever it's called, go be like a little ranger in the summer somewhere. Go be, you know, a au pair abroad. Go experience, go enjoy life. Have a little break, take a little break if you need so. But if you want to stay on track and like keep going after your passions and pursue what you were studying, I think after school the best thing you can do is get a little part-time job. I don't care about the pay. It doesn't have to be a big girl job. You're not going to get like a quote unquote big girl CEO job right out of college. Let's be real. You can have fun and work at the fucking local ice cream shop. You can also have fun and be like a little part-time intern at a newspaper magazine locally, or at a retail shop, or at, I don't know what you're studying, a law firm, a doctor's office. Like, you could be a receptionist for the summer. Just enjoy, you know, keep practicing, get your toes in the water. That will help you secure the quote unquote big girl jobs later on, is having experience. So if you want to like keep pursuing your passions and keep staying in the field, so to say, get a little internship, go to some extra classes, go get a little part-time job. It doesn't necessarily have to be something big. But also, I think the most important thing is congratulations. Round of applause for you. That's fucking hard. If you want to take a little bit of a break, that's valid. Don't let your parents nagging you, being like, where's your job? Where's your job? Where's your job? Freak you out. We are not on the same level back as where it was with them. Okay. My parents got out of college and immediately got jobs. I mean, to be fair, they were teachers, and that was a whole different thing back then. I don't know if I want to be a teacher now. That's a lot to deal with. And you guys are so brave. You were so, so brave. You were on the front lines. But like back then, you could get out of college, immediately get a job, immediately buy a house off of the minimum wage salary the government was giving you. Nowadays, not so much. So don't let your parents nagging bother you at all. Enjoy. Relish in your successes. All right? You deserve to be proud of yourself. How to feel more in tune with life. I think it's all about the little things and finding peace and enjoyment and fulfillment in it, whether it's your morning coffee or a book that you get to read a chapter of every night. The little things do make up your day. Okay. When you look back and you remember the day before, you're not remembering, well, maybe you are remembering the mundane, but usually you're remembering like the small little gems throughout your day, maybe the bad things. But listen, mostly the small little gems throughout your day, you just have to look for them. Okay. Girl, you're crystal mining in your own life of life experiences. So get to work. Find joy, find peace in the small things, whether it's your commute to work where you get to listen to the local radio, your coffee in the morning, your lunch break at work where you get to eat something yummy. Maybe it's a free meal your work provided you. Maybe it's, oh my God, finally getting off work. Whatever it is, look for those little gems. I think also disappearing for a while is healthy, okay? Getting off the grid is healthy. Whether it's like for 10 days like I did, or just simply going to your local park and taking a walk and disconnecting from like people and reconnecting to nature. I think reconnection to nature is like very important to feel in tune with life, whether it's going to your local hiking area and just going on a little 5-minute walk, whether it's going to a hike to a creek, whether it's going to the local swimming pool. I don't care. Get out, connect with nature, touch grass, like for real. It will make you be like, oh no, life is good. Fuck the people who make life hard. Let me focus on enjoyment. And the third, I think, is staying in tune with yourself. To stay in tune with life, you have to be connected with yourself. And I asked for my boyfriend a journal for my birthday. I've had many journals throughout my life. They just really haven't ever been like exactly how I wanted it. So I took the time and I did some research on a journal that I thought I would enjoy and use quite often. I got a fuchsia pink leather bound journal with no lines, so I could draw, I could doodle, I could write, I could do whatever. And that's what I asked for my birthday, and of course he provided. But I've been using it a lot, especially on my girls trip. And I feel like to feel in tune with life, you must feel in tune with yourself. And a great way to feel in tune with yourself is just having that daily little check-in. You know, for me, my intentional daily check-in is in my journal, where I'm writing down all my thoughts and I'm writing down all my feelings. Maybe it's in your notes app. Maybe it's like talking out loud to yourself in the shower or on your commute home. Whatever it is, have those daily checkups with yourself. I think it's a great way to stay in tune, not only with yourself, but also in tune with life. So, someone said my ex-boyfriend has the hugest D, but he's a mega pussy. How to cope? Listen, I genuinely don't believe dick size matters. Listen, I understand like maybe a 1-incher is not ideal, but most dicks are gonna be average size. I don't think you deserve rights as a man based on your dick size. I think you deserve rights as a man based on like how you treat people. Okay, if you're kind and nice and gentle as a man, in my brain, that immediately adds 3 extra inches on. Like, let's be real. All of a sudden, you have like a massive peen in my mind, because big dick energy is not physical, it's mental. Always. And there's going to be a lot of awful men with large penises out there. I do not think they deserve rights whatsoever, okay? Especially not rights to that 9-incher, okay? Just because he has a massive dick doesn't mean he deserves your attention. There's a lot of really good men out there with massive dicks, if that's what you're looking for. But once again, I've talked about dick size before, and I don't, like I said, it doesn't matter. I genuinely believe, so your vaginal canal is different sizes. Everybody's is different sizes, different shapes, different lengths. Your uterus is going to move differently. Women are not this cookie cutter copy and paste that we think we are. The same way, like, all dicks are maybe going to look different or be cut different or whatever. Vaginas are the same way. It's not cookie cutter how they explain it to you in fucking elementary physical education. It's going to be different sizes, it's going to be different shapes, it's going to be different lengths. So really, like Cinderella's slipper, you should be looking for the man with the perfect girth, with the perfect length for you, whether it's 4 inches or maybe you got a deeper one and you need 9. I don't know, we're all different. Those 2 things, and then a perfect mouth, not only for eating but also for spewing words of kindness. You will find that man eventually. But if a man is awful, I don't think he deserves rights. Ever. Put him in jail. Literally, immediately. Huge D, who cares? Go find someone who's nice, and I guarantee they probably have a huge penis attached to them. I promise you, okay? What to do when you're not feeling mentally in tune or motivated. Love you, by the way. I love you. When you're not feeling like in tune with yourself or motivated in a direction and where you need to go, it's because you're not dreaming enough, babe. I'm begging you, please start dreaming, start setting goals, start having plans, make a life Pinterest board and just look at pretty pictures, and whether you believe that picture is going to happen for you or not, pin it. That's how I like have like a constant mood board going for myself, whether it's like an intentional preset mood board where I'm like taking images and collaging and physically cutting out, or it's just like a constant one going where it's like maybe I'm saving cute pictures on Instagram, or I'm saving cute pictures to my life board on Pinterest. Create some dreams for yourself, set some goals, whether it's small, like I want to be that girl in that bubble bath taking a hot bubble bath, and then you make it happen for yourself. Or it's like, I want to be that girl on that horse in those mountains, and then you make it happen for yourself. Big or small, you need to dream. You need to set goals and start small, honestly. Start achieving the small things. You want to be the girl who journals. Guess what? You can be her. You can try it out for size. And if you're not that girl and doesn't work out, move on. And guess what? If it sticks, you have a new hobby, a new activity to add to your life. Be that girl who does the face mask. Go grab a $1.99 face mask from Target and put it on and chill, light a candle. Guess what? Now you are that girl. You are what you make of yourself. And if you're feeling out of touch with yourself and out of touch with life and unmotivated, it's because you're not setting and achieving goals. And goals don't need to be big, such as accomplishing college. If you did that, fantastic, very hard, incredible, so proud of you. But it doesn't have to be this big societal goals that people talk about most often because it's the easiest to brag about because it's hard to achieve. Sometimes it can be like, you know what, I showered for the first time in weeks today and I'm proud of myself. You know, they don't have to be crazy. Maybe it's, oh, I'm gonna do my nails, I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to dye my hair. I want to be that girl with pink hair, so now I'm the girl with pink hair. I want to be the girl who wears heels, so now I wear heels. I want to be the girl who wears skirts, so now I wear skirts. I want to be the girl who eats salads, so now I eat salads. I want to be the girl who blah, 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 blah. Make sure they're healthy and intentional. Like they do connect with you in some sort of way. Not just like oh, I'm jealous, so I want to attach and be this. Focus on visualizing who you want to be in the future and then obtaining those things. But I do genuinely believe that starts with dreaming. And I'm more of like a visual dreamer rather than like a thinker. I mean, I think all the fucking time, but not in that kind of way. I'm more of like a visualizing kind of person, especially since I'm very artistic. Like a lot of my thinking is visualizing. So I really believe like there are healthy apps on this planet. There's a healthy way to use your phone. If you're scrolling on Pinterest for hours, saving pins to your life board or your dreams board, that's a healthy way to use your phone. And that is a practical way to use your phone. And also it's a very practical way to develop and start to game plan some dreams for yourself. So go after it, get to enjoying, get to dreaming. Daydreaming, I was always told was so unhealthy for me, but honestly, I think it has made me set and achieve goals faster than anything has in my life. Someone said, will you be doing another recipe? I will be posting another recipe on Thursday. There's actually something that I ate on my road trip that was like incredible. It was at the dim Sum place. They were called firecrackers, and basically they were like jalapeno stuffed crab rangoons in a sense. So wait and see. I'll be posting that recipe video on Thursday. They were so yummy. And I feel like they're really great to just make it, not really in the summer. They're kind of heavy, but hey, Midwest princess it out. Cream cheese stuffed jalapenos are like the most Midwest princess meal ever. So I had to take on that. I'll be posting that on Thursday. Stay tuned. I made cosmic brownies before my trip, and I posted them last week. So if you want to see my cosmic brownie recipe, go give it a watch. They are the brownies that I made all through college to pay for my activities and my tuition. You just don't have to use regular butter if you don't want to. Wink, wink. Someone said budgeting / spending too much money. LOL, trying to stop. I need to get on board with that after going on this trip, because best believe I was swiping my card everywhere I went, everywhere. And honestly, I mean, what else am I working for? You know, I want that hoodie, I'm buying that hoodie. I want that t-shirt, I'm buying that t-shirt. Like, I'm on vacation, I'm going to spend some money, let's be real. But I can't live my vacation spending in my real life, so I'm having to kind of like boop, 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 do some math and reevaluate a little bit. I think setting budgeting goals for yourself. Download a budgeting app that breaks down like where you spend the most money, so you can visualize like, oh, I spend most of my money on food, or oh, I spend most of my money on shopping, or oh, I spend most of my money on that morning coffee that I have every day. And then think like, okay, what's a realistic goal I can set? How often can I have that coffee? How much money am I going to spend a week on groceries? How much money am I going to spend a week on shopping? Whatever it is, set a budget for yourself. And then it's literally, life is a video game. We are playing the game of life. We are playing the game of Monopoly in real time. I highly recommend visualizing your life as that. I think it makes it way more easier to break down and kind of like give into the society simulation a little bit easier, where it's like, LOL, I'm playing a video game, beep, boop, bop. Like, the real living is escaping to the mountains or like getting out in nature, but like the video game living is like, I gotta figure out taxes, I gotta budget a little bit. So think of it like that. I think it's a little bit easier to grasp onto and like have enjoyment doing, but stick to your goals. You know, you can be the girl that budgets. You just got to create a budget and stick to it. But yeah, I think really just finding out where you spend the most money and trying to cut back a little bit at a time is a great way to budget. Like, you don't have to go cold turkey. You can cut back like $100 a month and slowly dwindle down to where your actual goal wants to be. Someone said, fucking my ex, in love with my coworker. This is big idiot time. You know, at least you're aware. At least you're aware. We all find ourselves in the pits of bad choices, and at least you're aware, because you know now this is not the best thing to be doing. So you're one step closer to making change and actually being on the right path. If you're fucking your ex and in love with your coworker, I say step away from boys or love for a while and step into yourself. Step into being selfish a little bit. Maybe this is your selfish time though. Then enjoy it. Listen, we all make mistakes. We all have those days. So you'll grow out eventually, I promise. Someone said, where to next on your travels? Realistically, I'm going to say LA, because I've been itching to get to LA for a while. They're in their June gloom season, and I don't want to go to LA while it's cloudy and rainy. So I think we're gonna go later in the summer. I might do another little smaller road trip back to Arkansas. I had a blast there. It was a great way to kind of escape a little bit and see new areas. But I don't think I'll be going anywhere like big, like taking a flight anywhere until LA. We'll probably go for like my boyfriend's birthday or something. And then after that, honestly, I really want to start planning an abroad trip. I want to do like 2 weeks out in Europe, gallivanting around. I have a friend in Spain. I want to go visit him. I have a friend who went to Rome. So like I want to go with her and go experience Rome with her. And I want to go to Amsterdam, and I want to go see the Palace of Versailles and see where Marie Antoinette laid her little head and connect that way. But I think my next big trip is definitely going to be abroad. And then I also want to start working on another national park trip. America is beautiful. It is gorgeous. I realize why there's so many tourists from abroad visiting here. When I was younger and I went to Yellowstone, I was like, why are people flying to our country to come see this? It's because you literally can't see it anywhere else. This is like a once in a lifetime place to visit. And I'm trying to visit more of those places. So I think I also want to plan another national park trip. But that's really all I have planned so far. I'll probably do like a Pacific Northwest National Park trip over any other area. Someone said hiking / adventuring essentials. Ooh, so good hiking boots, thick ass socks. I wore a bunch of like rompers. I felt like that was the easiest to hike in, than like tight shorts and a tank top or like a workout bra. Some sort of like matching set, like a romper, very simple, very easy. Pack a poncho if you think it's gonna rain, or like a raincoat. Where we were hiking, it was really hot, so bring enough water, bug spray, sunscreen, good sunglasses, a sandwich for later, maybe a protein bar, and I really honestly think that's it. You just need to make sure no bugs are gonna bite you and kill you, that the sun's not gonna fry your skin up, that your feet aren't gonna be hurting. Okay, some thick socks, some really good hiking boots. Put your hair back, put it up, pin it up, braid it, whatever it is, and then some comfy hiking clothes. Also, one hiking essential, or two maybe, that I really don't use that often, hats. I finally bought a bucket hat for myself while I was in Yellowstone, because I was like, my face and my scalp is just getting fried. I need a hat. So a hat. And then also I bought these like silver lined pee wipes. They're like reusable cloth wipes. So after you pee, you're not just like drip drying. My other friend, she had like one of those funnels to pee out of. And honestly, that seemed really nice, but I didn't know how I was going to clean that. Like these, you just throw in the wash with your clothes and it's easy peasy. So I bought some of those so then I wasn't like drip drying or like hiking in my pee. Gross. Like, I need something to wipe with that's not a fucking leaf. So that's what really was nice for me. How do I invite God to pour some sugar on me? Oh my God, I love this question. Honestly, pour some sugar on me. God, please. I really just believe it's like, oh, great question. Opening yourself up to possibilities. Don't close yourself off to one specific idea, one specific path, one specific thought. Open yourself up. Bitch, they lost my bags and I was like, you know what? Whatever. I'll just get them when they get here. Like, you guys know they didn't make it on the plate, and so obviously they're being tracked. I'll just get it when I get here. And then they were like, oh yeah, and here's a $250 voucher. Opened myself up. Don't be a dick. Open yourself to paths, open yourself to life, open yourself to experiences. If your friend's like, I want to go to Montana for a vacation, be like, you know what, not a place I would have thought of, but fuck it, let's go. If your friend's like, I want to go hike this place, I want to go to this restaurant, I want to go here, fuck it, whatever, let's go try it out. Open yourself up to experiences, open yourself up to God and blessings, and I think they will flow towards you tenfold. I think opening yourself up to yourself as well and connecting with yourself will always be received well to the blessings of the universe, especially because you're not going to be putting yourself in dangerous situations, you're not going to be putting yourself in bad situations, you're not going to be acting against yourself because you know who you are, you stand strong to that, you will receive ultimately more blessings for that. And yeah, being open and being connected to yourself and also being connected to the world around you, giving kindness to people, offering forgiveness to people, being just a general positive person in other people's lives will bring more genuine positive people towards you. They will recognize that and they want to follow in that and they will want to surround themselves in you. So you will receive the blessings and some sugar from God physically from people around you that way. So I think honestly those are kind of the best tips I can give. But the universe, God, whatever you believe in, wants to pour goodness into you. It wants to pour some sugar on you. It wants to provide good things for you. You need to be accepting and understanding and recognize those good things, though, okay? Don't put yourself into dangerous situations. Don't put yourself into compromising situations in the name of what? Because I know you don't know what it is. Follow your intuition. Follow what you believe in. Stand strong in your goals. Give peace and prosperity to other people, provide kindness to other people, provide kindness to yourself, provide generosity to the world around you, be in touch with the world around you physically, mentally, spiritually. The universe will bless you tenfold. Be grateful for what you have because you have a lot. Whether you believe you don't, you do. Look around you, identify it, give thanks because this life is so bountiful and we take a lot for fucking granted. So find enjoyment and prosperity and peace and gratitude in what you have, whether it seems like a lot or not. There are people out there who always have less. So give thanks. The universe will bless you tenfold for finding peace and enjoyment in what you have versus seeking and searching for what you don't. I love you. I think this is the end of our podcast. I'm so sorry. I know I talked so long about my trip, but I really wanted to go over it and kind of maybe provide some inspiration for you guys and really just tell you how important the national parks are and how beautiful they really can be. And even if they are only like 12 hours away, that's not that far. You can basically be in another world in 12 hours. If you need to escape, go escape. If you want to become a park ranger, go become a park ranger. If you want to go on a trip, go on a trip. Get out there, experience, live life. Life is meant to be lived and enjoyed and seeked and sought after. So get out there, go create the life you want to live for yourself. It is waiting for you. But with that being said, I love you all so very much. If you want your question answered, I will be doing a Patreon only podcast on Thursday, patreon.com/smokeseshshawty. So I will go over every single question there. It'll probably be longer since I didn't do one last week because I was off the grid. And if you want to see more from me, see pictures, follow me on Instagram at Hannah Marlene. And with that being said, smoke a bowl for me, and I'll see you on next week of Smoke Sesh. Mwah!